So what's going on, everybody? Big A with Big A's Baits here. Today we're going to be showing you how to make some DIY hand tie crappie jigs. And the color we're going to be doing today is a pretty typical dark watercolor, known throughout as probably I'd say like one of the 4 predominant crappie colors, and that's going to be black and chartreuse. But instead of using feathers and stuff like that, today we're going to be making them with some crazy legs. And so without further ado, let's get started. So first thing you need is some type of vise. Now these range anywhere from $15 to $20 for like a cheap one from Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop, all the way up into the hundreds of dollars if you get like a rotary vise and stuff. This is just my little travel vise. It's an old Thompson Model A vise, and it's made in the 1900s, and it's still kicking. It's a great vise. The only feature really you don't have with it is, you don't get the rotary, so you have to wrap your jigs. So the first thing you need in the vise is your jig head. Next you'll need your bobbin with your thread, and since we're doing chartreuse, we're using like a chartreuse type thread. You'll need your whipping tool and some type of scissors. So once you get your jig in the vise, first thing you're going to do is go ahead and get you a good base of thread laid down. Now you only want to run this to about the tip of the barb of the hook, and that's because we don't want a lot of materials down below on the shank below the barb of the hook, because it could affect our hook sets when we're out there fishing. So I like to use about 5 strands for the crazy legs, and how I do it is we'll get these all kind of lined up pretty even here. And then I make most of my jigs about 2 inches, so I just kind of lay it over my finger here, get my 2 inches, because you figure the barb is shank of the hook is about 1 inch long, and that'll leave about 1 inch below the barb. So now that we got our legs cut to about how far we want them, I like to start, kind of push them down over the shank of the hook, get you just a couple loose wraps just to kind of hold it in place, and then go ahead and run that down the shank of the hook. Now the next thing you'll need is whatever type Chanel you choose. Again, for this one we're doing black, which has just a little bit of gold flake in it there, or gold tint to it. Starting up by the head again, we'll go down to secure that in place, working our way back up. And now, since we don't have a rotary vise, we're simply twist this by hand, back up the shank, and we want to secure this in place. So you go 1 in front, 1 behind, 1 in front, 1 behind. At that point, we can go ahead and snip this little tag end off. And then I like to use the whipping tool here. A lot of guys do this with their fingers. I just think it's easier to use the whipping tool. I'm gonna do 4 wraps. Do a double whip finish. Go ahead and snip it. Trim off just a little bit more. We're tagging there where we cut it. Get the crazy legs to about the right length. So you can see they're just a hair long here. And there you have it. A black and chartreuse crazy leg crappie jig. Knocked out in just about 5 minutes a jig. So you can do these, you know, pretty fast, especially if you're just making them for yourself. We make some other colors. Here we have some orange and chartreuse crazy legs. A more natural color, like a minnow color, with some crazy legs. And then here's one of my more favorite types, and it's a crazy leg, but it also has your feathers in there as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and watching how we do a DIY crappie jig tutorial.